The opinions expressed in the following are those of its participants and do not necessarily reflect those of the producers and the Six Talk Podcast Network. Also, the following contains mature material and mild language, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Discretion is advised.
Well, we're just, I'm still recovering from the stream from last night, just for reference. This time around, though, I got, well, you see the, if you're watching the video, you can see the nice little avatar here. This is why, and by the way, nice look, Mo. This is normally why we can't, we don't do these streams. As I said, when we started doing these videos a couple weeks ago, we have faces for radio. Take a look at mine. But in any event, we decided to space heater chat it up again. Mike Nicolas here at 6 points. Mohamed Sharmarke, wherever he is. Nice look, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Well, if for anybody watching on YouTube, it's just two static images. One static image and then just Mo. Look, as I said, still recovering from last night. So, and by the way, as mentioned a couple weeks ago, this is, we've been like, I wanted to talk with have a chance to do space heaters with the other roundtable regulars. And maybe this is an interesting night. Oh, this is a perfect night to have Mo do this. Because typically when we're doing these, whenever Mo comes on, we're probably watching some sort of current events thing or a sporting event all at the same time. And what better sporting event in the dead of winter than a hockey game? Currently, the Toronto Maple Leafs are, as we're taping this, are playing the Vancouver Canucks. And after one, they are down 1-0. Updates as we tape.
The classic East versus West. Who will prevail? Toronto, yeah. Vancouver,
well,
Canada.
Yeah, we already know who prevailed in the terms of the scheduling.
Obviously, Toronto, man.
Yeah, since this game's in Vancouver and the 4 p.m. start time on the West Coast. Yes, Vancouver, I understand. As a Torontonian, I get it. So it's a perfect. But as I said, when Mo's around, this is kind of perfect. Last time we did this, I think we were. Well, what were the other sporting or current significant current events we did as you and me taped, Mo?
Might have been a basketball game or a baseball game
or a soccer game.
Soccer game also true. I think there was a Euro at one point or World
Cup. Or it could have been a World Cup game. And then of course the Toronto by-election for the mayor back in 2023.
Gotta keep it relevant. It's, exciting. Something exciting has to happen while I'm on one.
Yeah, how that election happened, that was awesome, actually.
Oh man,
that's another story altogether. Okay, so as I said, we're still recovering from a bunch of things last night. The stream. You have a quick impression of the stream? I've been getting feedback over the last 22 hours from that very first stream. You have a thought though, or did you watch any of it?
I liked it. I obviously didn't watch it live. I watched the VOD afterwards, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's it. No, obviously the tweaks will just be self-evident as they go along.
Exactly. And the more you stream, the better it'll get. For a first stream, it's pretty nice.
For first stream, I mean, I gave a damn about leaving a good first impression. I'm not totally sure if it was, but we tried. I mean, privately, you've expressed a few things, mainly on the audio. Oops, mainly on the camera angles too, I guess, right? I should turn that off. That was my email chiming at me. So there's those things. And then, well, as I said, we'll talk about that. The stream is still there. It's on Twitch at twitch.tv/anime roundtable. It's our channel. We don't get too many followers at this stage. So so according to the Twitch rules, that ain't staying for too long. Probably a couple days, at most a week before it's taken down.
How does
it work? Yeah, how does it work? It's you have to be an affiliate or something. I don't know all these things right now for it to stay up longer.
I guess there's something along those lines. But like I said, just go a couple more streams under your belt and it'll work out.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be. Hopefully we'll get enough to at least keep it up for longer than a week. But in any event, that's where we are today. We'll put these. We'll put these two up on. We'll put this video up on Twitch as well, and then we'll put and YouTube. For reference, the video game stuff. Whenever I do a video game, and we still have yet to decide. I still have yet to decide what that first game will be, but I think we know where we're leaning. I've yet to fully decide where that what that first game will be. And when we do the video game streams, they'll be for now exclusive to Twitch. So you'll excuse me on that choice, right? It just makes it easier, I think, for myself and OBS. OBS doesn't give you an option to stream to more than one source, unlike StreamYard, right? That's where we're going to go tonight. Also, what we're still recovering from, and I don't think the video game world has fully recovered from it yet. As we're talking, it is 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Several hours into the great outage of 2025.
Well, a day, roughly a day into it. We're 25 hours in. A lot of people are upset. I tend to think it's withdrawal, but I get it. I understand it because people love it, and I can only. I am making these statements based on being as casual a gamer, and the fact, at least my game, and it was digitally downloaded into my PlayStation already. So trying to get that online wasn't really a worry.
True, but you got to remember, there's a lot of people out there that play only online games, so it's
or have significant online components, right?
Exactly. So it's kind of tough times for them right now. But I guess
as I said,
it'll be okay.
Yeah, just I'll respect the anger, especially in the moment, and some people are like. Once again, when you go on social media, read all the comments. People are going at each other again, just like how it is in the 21st century now. So, for reference, as the recovery is going, the one piece of equipment that is recovering is what I used as the webcam last night, which was my old iPhone. It drained the battery real good. I didn't plug it in, so I can't. I'm not using it by choice. Or maybe by necessity, but by choice too. It's just too much to have it here on the table. So we're just sticking with the webcam, my MacBook's regular camera here. So any other thoughts on that? Like you play on you play on PC as well, right, Mo? Or what platforms do you usually play games on? Like
PC or PlayStation? But I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, it's quite an elaborate setup, but I think that with a couple more streams, it'll prove itself to be worthy, I guess.
Oh no, we're talking that one, yes. And then a couple more streams, and then what? And you're just more on a PC. You just play more games on PC yourself, right?
True.
How much do you play on PS5?
Not that much.
Not that much. But you have a PS5?
No, PS4.
Are you're still on PS4? And
I'm waiting for the next one to come. I like to leapfrog generations.
Oh, that's you?
That's me, man. Didn't we talk about this like a couple episodes ago?
I thought it was more like a couple of years ago. But at my age, my memory just tends to be kind of blurry that way, right?
I mean, we know Sony. They're gonna release that 6 anytime now.
Yeah, sooner than people would have hoped. Probably. What's the latest? Thinking there, people are thinking 2026.
2026, exactly.
Yeah.
December
6/26, right?
summer of 26.
Yeah, summer 26. Yeah. That's good. 6/26. Sure.
Marketing plays out all by itself.
Yeah, the mark of PlayStation. The mark of the PlayStation. That's what it'll be. 6/26.
That's a good segue into what we're gonna be talking about today.
Yeah, actually, it is. Okay, so let's start the whole genesis of this thought. When did Colors Within go into theaters?
January something or another.
Yes, January something. I think what is it? 24th. Okay, the January 24th. That's when Colors Within went into theaters. We've meant to have this conversation much sooner, closer to the 24th than where we are now. But closer to the 24th than February 8th, I guess.
Exactly.
But better late than never. And for what it's worth, maybe we're trying to not that we're on Cineplex's payroll, but we are trying. But if you haven't had a chance to see it, at least in Toronto, it appears it'll be one more week. But it's only in one theater as far as I know, in the entire GTA, and that's downtown near the Eaton Center, Yonge and Dundas.
They have to make way for the new Attack on Titan movie, right?
Oh yeah, okay. So that's what's coming up this week. This week.
That and all them Captain Americas, right?
Make the space. Well, one more chance to check out Colors Within. But that's I guess where we'll go tonight on this, because I've seen it in Japanese. You saw it in what? When you saw it,
I saw it dubbed. You
saw it in English.
I did.
And what was the way you initially said to me when I would go take it?
It was very nice.
It was. You also suggested you will cry happy tears by the end of it.
That's very true.
Well, I just to get that part out of the way, I didn't, but I did smile at the end. It was that good. Just a quick thought. Naoko Yamada was the director of this. She was also behind Silent Voice, which I really enjoyed. This was, it just made for anybody who enjoyed that that's a hook for sure. I don't know what I need to say to get people to want to see this. It was that good. I thought it was that good. So, sorry about that. Yeah, I thought it was that good personally. But obviously there are things maybe we wanted to talk about at length as we go through this, right? So I don't know, where do you want to start? Where do you want to start on this? Which makes us regret we're trying to rehash our phone conversations. We're gonna try and rehash our phone conversations.
I don't know. It's funny because it's like I like this run of G Kids having movies in theaters. It's always a good time, and especially when the movie is this simplistically fun.
Yeah,
be the best way to describe it.
Simplistically fun, yeah, and maybe you don't have to really think too much. It's really just a one shot. It's not related to other things out there. You don't have to really come in having to see something else beforehand. So, i.e., a feature in the midst of a television series. Although that's always. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's no world building. There's no prequels or sequels or side characters.
Mm-hmm.
The limitation of the cast makes the story just that much more better.
Yeah, and to me, like the perfect movie, if you're going to use that scenario, obviously you want something that still would serve as a good entry point. Just going back to the whole idea of doing a movie in the midst of a television series, just a good entry point so that people that could something that could cater to both veteran viewers or people who have already seen previous episodes, previous installments, and then anybody who can just pick up and get and not feel lost themselves, right? And the perfect version of that would be also get them curious about anything else already, right? But that's not the case with this movie. It was just a single shot feature. Really, there's nothing else related to it. I think a manga is presently being serialized based on this movie, and I don't know if there's an English translation set at this point. So that's worth noting. The thing is, I know you sent me a Reddit after we had watched it, right?
Yeah, I also like I want to say the discourse that this movie is giving. It seems to be pretty positive. Doesn't seem to have anything negative to say about it, and I think that just adds to the simplicity of it as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, what did I say? You remember what the Twitter I put up yesterday? Moody, but what's the
heartfelt?
Word? Heartfelt, right? That's exactly what I said. That's how I personally described it.
And Moody, I think a lot of people describe it that way. It's very heartfelt.
Yeah, it's very heartfelt. Certainly on that side. Also, I think the Reddit post you gave me it encapsulates a lot of feelings about it really easily. The whole it's basically a story around the Serenity Prayer. Look, 3 main characters: Tatsuko, Kimi, Rui. Starts with Tatsuko and Kimi, who are go to an all-girls Catholic school, and it basically the whole story surrounds what's referred to as the Serenity Prayer, and it's recited throughout the movie. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
You know, it's funny. That is a large part of the movie. Like one of the 3 characters of the movie that I guess you could kind of call her the main character because of her powers and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But honestly, you can remove that entire story, and I think the story of the other 2 is so much more impactful to the overall story of the movie that makes it as good as it is.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, she's like Tatsuko comes across as the main character, but her trials and tribulations, like as I said, all 3 of them would seemingly have a version of this prayer to be living with at the moment. And I guess there's spoilers and maybe there's some mild spoilers in some of this, right? All 3 of them would have a version of this prayer to be dealing with, but the issues Tatsuko seems to be dealing with are not as pressing as the ones that Kimi and Rui ultimately are dealing with. So, I mean, when you put it in those terms, it's just that I guess I can see a version of it, and maybe having said all of that, I think others who have seen it may say maybe grasping a little bit to see it, but to me, Tatsuko had a version of the prayer to be living, right?
I guess that's true. I mean, she did. I personally thought that Tatsuko was like the main character. Even in the poster, she's like kind of the lead, right?
Yeah, it's kind of Tatsuko is the girl, and is the girl like who can see the colors. Let me just quickly put this up. But you're right. It's probably, when you think about it, it's probably Kimi.
Yeah, I mean, she had the bigger storylines.
She literally is front and center when you think about it, right?
Exactly.
So, but there's how it looks in the photo. The various promotionals will put Tatsuko or Kimi front and center. I have to kind of look at some of the other promotional stuff, right? So, like, yeah, no, never mind. I take that back. Yeah, a lot of the promotional material you will see probably puts Tatsuko front and center in all of this. So, not Tatsuko, Kimi front and center.
Absolutely. Tatsuko is the heart of the story, I guess. The main conflict of the story, the main story arc of the story.
Maybe in many ways, indirectly, the narrator, the person who kind of guides everybody through it.
Exactly.
Is that where you're thinking?
Absolutely. Us, the audience, goes on this journey along with her more than we do Totsuko.
More than we go with when like Totsuko is the girl with who can see the colors.
Exactly.
We tell the story through like kind of with her, but she kind of like guides us to telling Kimi and Rui's story, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, from left to right in this image, you see the guy Rui, you see Kimi in the center, and then you see Totsuko on the keyboard. Those are the three main characters within Colors Within, and and as mentioned, all three of them have a version of the Serenity Prayer to kind of understand. And you said it's a very, very subtle story, right? I mean, the impression I got after like watching through the movie was it basically said to me, like there was so much potential for like a huge conflict at any point. And as I said, like they all had various issues. Do we want to go through a few of the issues right now? So
sure, let's set it up.
Yeah, so Totsuko has what's the there's a medical term to describe what Totsuko has, right? So Totsuko
synesthesia, right?
Synesthesia.
She hears. No, she didn't hear.
She sees people in different colors.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's a scientific term, but that's how she sort of describes it, and in many respects, she kind of is stumbling through life at that to this point. In many respects, she stumbled through life, and one key thing about her is that while she can see people's own colors, she can't see her own. And maybe there's what? How do you put it? Like in many ways, she's trying to find an identity in that.
Which I honestly didn't really add anything to the movie. It's like a put upon thing that she's dealing with.
Yeah, it's okay. I can see, and I can see why you seemed so more drawn to Kimi and Rui in the end, right? Compared to Totsuko.
I mean, their stories actually like felt like stories, like problems felt like problems.
Yeah, but yeah. So let's go through them. Kimi, Kimi is obviously a student at Totsuko's school, but early on in the story, she drops out
for reasons unknown.
For reasons we have yet to really figure out. Well, initially, yes, reasons unknown, but obviously it kind of fleshes itself out as the story goes.
Even though some mystery in this, man, we don't want to spoil everything.
Yeah, well, for reasons unknown. Well, how much are we going to spoil, right? Because we sort of give you we're kind of giving a hint as to what to expect when watching the movie and what to, and our own impressions as we watched it. We're trying to keep the spoilers here to a minimum, right? But we do have to kind of hook people. Rui, what do you want to say about his thing, right? So, clearly has one passion, but life will clearly take him somewhere else.
I think that his story out of the three was the most commendable, I guess. Like he had to like overcome the most, and I think the way he solves his problem at the end is like the best out of all of them. But in general, I think that like he had like the biggest challenge to overcome out of the three of them.
A sense of obligation. Well, let's put it that way, I guess.
Exactamundo, right?
Yes. Yeah, he had to deal with obligations that he wasn't totally comfortable with, and that's how they all come together. They all have their anxieties. They all have their things that they're dealing with, right? Hence, accept the things I can't change, and they're and where they sit in life is, in many respects, is inescapable at that point. But the courage to change the things I can was how they dealt with it and what they can do within all of it. So let's form a band, right? Let's form a band.
Because that is the answer to all of our problems.
Sometimes it's mind over matter. And that's all the story. And that's I guess the basics of the story. Basically, how they go about all of this, how they deal with life while getting together and meeting up to do any getting together to form their band, to write their music, to practice, etc. And just enjoy each other's time. And then the wisdom to know the difference. And I guess that's the real plot, right? They have to find the balance between the first two parts of the prayer. So that's, I guess, the basic story behind the basic premise behind Colors Within. I'm just kind of impressed with the movie because there were so many potentials that, like, just on what all three of them are facing by themselves, especially Rui and Kimi. There was the potential for a lot of tension and near powder keg like scenarios.
Exactly. I think that the reason the movie is as heartwarming as it is because the ultimate conclusion and the choices they make, the roads they take, is the I don't know, the least ridiculous. Because there are moments and times where you think that, hey, they could have very easily taken a hard right or a hard left and gone way off the rails with this, right? Gone extreme in ways that would have made this whole movie feel, just not good. But they kept it simple. Everyone kind of came to their own, like, moral conclusions on how they should deal with stuff and proceeded in a way that was very nice and fun.
Yeah, that's where I was on that too. I mean, how much do you want to go into the possible? Like, think about it. You have home obligations. Like, those are clearly what Kimi and Rui faced. They had obligations at home with their families, and they weren't totally comfortable with it. They could have tried to. Is rebel a strong word? A proper word to use here?
I was going to say rebel is the exact word to use, especially in Ruby's case. He could have rebelled so hard, but he didn't. And I think that's ultimately what made the whole thing feel so good at the end.
Mm-hmm. And then just keep in mind, this is the school that's depicted is an all-girls Catholic school, and it's a boarding school. Totsuko lives in the dorms.
She does very much.
She very much is guarded, especially among the nuns that serve as her teacher. So you wonder, she's more than capable of making a slip up. You knew that there would be a slip up at some point that could put her at odds with the nuns, with the teachers, and happily, I guess, and this is a slight spoiler, it never turns out that way. And I get it. It's like, it's the church. There could have been a lash out there, but there wasn't. And that just, it's just, each of them have their own authorities that you think that they could have lashed out against, but that's not what happened. But but as we said, they just come to their conclusions, come to their own ways of dealing with it, their own way. But I think it was a case of, they, once again, about accepting what they couldn't change, right?
You know what? The more I think about it, the more you're right about how it does circle around not rebelling, not going left, not going right, just kind of accepting it the way it is and being like, you know what? you're right. I'm just gonna keep going. You know, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna change
And
or
it,
rock this boat.
yeah, no, but well, isn't that it feels so Japanese to do it that way, doesn't it sometimes? Though?
100%, yes.
So I'm not totally. So will people interpret this the wrong? Like people can already start to. I can already see people wanting to um, make their interpretations to fit their agendas on this, right? They should have. There should have been a hard left, a hard right. They conformed. But I'm not totally like. I just don't like the way I looked at it was it it told a story, gave a moral story, but it didn't get preachy. It didn't feel like it had an agenda to me. It was just like how to find your own individual is be an individual in circumstances while not dire are not comfortable either.
And
Right.
absolutely, I feel like the fact you pointed on is that there is no oblique agenda happening with this movie. There very well could have been, but there isn't. I think the agenda of the movie is just to be nice and, you know, be a good person in general. I think that it could have said so much, but it didn't. It just wanted to focus more on the overall aesthetics, the color, the music, and boy, there's a lot of music in this. The catchiness of the songs.
Catchiness. Okay, let's go with the music. And oh, we can't play the music. Find the videos, guys. You got to hear some of the music.
We'll put the links in the description.
We'll put the link in the description. Clearly, it'll also be wherever it is worth such a watch. But the thing was, there are like what 3 songs really that
2 major ones and a third one's in there as well. But
I mean, I mean, they're now on the 3 songs, the Japanese versions of the 3 songs. They're now on my they're now in the Anime Roundtable's Spotify playlist. So
guys, please check it out, man. Links are in the description.
Links, well, not that description. Well, you know what? I'll try and remember to put it there this time around. But if you're on Spotify, just enter in the name. You'll see it. But yeah, we got it's worth mentioning. That bears some mention, right? Okay, you like I said, we watched. I watched it in Japanese. You watch with subtitles. You watched the English dub, and kind of impressively, the songs were presented in Japanese and English as well.
Yeah, I was very surprised too. I thought that there'd be a switch, and there wasn't.
So you have a take on it? Are they a little different?
Same beat,
same
but
beat.
like the lyrics are obviously different. I know it's hard to say, right? Because like they do this for a lot of Japanese songs in general.
Maybe come up with new lyrics.
English dubs, new lyrics, try to keep the beat as same as possible. Sometimes it's hit or miss. I mean, these are kind of nice. I just think the Japanese is a little better, especially the Solar Planet song that she does. But yeah, it's good overall.
Worth a listen. If you watch the trailer if you watch the dub trailer, you'll get a sense of what the songs in English would have sounded like. But let's be honest, whether it's Spotify or just checking on YouTube, you can probably find the songs, and they're worth a listen to, and they are and they are catchy, and they are grabby. But I think that underscored the nature of the movie. I mean, it had the potential to be dark, right? It had the potential, but think about all the colors that you saw, right? Literally all the colors. There was you never like let's look at that. Like let's look at that poster one more time, right? The only okay. Oh, you don't really see dark colors. I get it. The kids are, but it's not. It's just never something that that pops out at you, right? The colors are very bright. So, and I guess that just says a lot about the tone of this movie, right? It gives for as dark as depressing at times as the issues as the issues could be. For as depressing as the issues could be for them. Yeah, thanks for the links. I'll put those. I'll put up some of these images in a second, Mo.
Yeah, just to illustrate the colorfulness of it.
Yeah. He's just showing me a color, a couple of colors here. Give me a sec. Let's put that up though. Let's put that up. We gotta show that just quickly. But stop. I'm still learning how to do this on the fly. Well, we'll share one screen. But there it is, right there, right? Oh, sure. This looks like what? Looks like the French poster. Is it the French poster? Tout color.
It's on IMDb, I guess. I think it's the French one.
Mm-hmm. So there's that's the sense you get looking at it, and maybe this poster probably illustrates it a little better. The whole idea, like when you look at the plot, when you look at the basic plot and coming away from it, and it had the potential to really take dark turns, and it chose not to. And that's a credit to everybody telling the story, whether it be the writers or director Yamada. I mean, what else can we really add to the movie? This is a big thumbs up, and people want to complain about not being able to see features and stuff. Features in theaters, anime features. Here's a chance, like a standalone anime feature, right? And
I think what G-Kids is doing with their partnership and pushing to have more of these movies in theaters is very very good. And especially with original stories like this, not everything has to be the Attack on Titan or the Demon Slayer movies,
Yeah, but that's coming back next week, right?
Exactly.
To go head to head against Captain America. Although,
can you imagine if Captain America lost?
That's where I was about to go. That's where I wanted to go with that. Well, because the lead up, I don't know. I'm just not reading reading the most flattering stuff in the lead up to the premiere of that. But let's focus. But once again, let's focus on the positive, right? So I don't know. Is there anything else we really want to add about this? Is there anything else?
I can't wait for the exclusive Steelbox Blu-ray special edition, limited edition to come out at some point.
I would be interested, but at this point, there is no word on a physical release at this point, right? Of any sort.
Nothing yet, but eventually, something this.
You hope. Yeah. You hope. In any event, but there is a pre-order going. It is mentioned on the G-Kids website that Apple TV, that you can pre-order the Apple TV version of it, $20 Canadian. I guess. I mean, I liked it enough, so maybe I'd consider that. But I know just to start to zoom out a little bit, and going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the episode with the PS5 outage and everybody being so angry. I think GameStop might have trolled a few players talking about, would this have happened if you bought it on disc? If you bought your games on disc, right?
I mean, yeah, but I think it's more the sense of just the connectivity of playing online that people are upset about. There's a lot of online only games. I mean, look at all those Marvel Rival people or the Overwatch people right now. They can't get on there, can't get on and play.
Yeah. Well, and then further to the point, further to all of that, discs don't have the whole game on it. There's always some DLC. There's always some patches that probably go into these days to make the game to optimize it, and I guess work out a few bugs that may have been in the disc, right? I suppose. So you're not. maybe maybe there's a bit of an overstate as to the power of physical media at points as well. But on the topic, yeah, at this point, Colors Within, there doesn't seem to be a physical release just yet. We'll stay tuned on it. Do you know G-Kids, how good G-Kids distribution would be in Canada? I know James would have a better sense of this. He's not here, but he's not around tonight.
Unfortunately, I do not have the knowledge that James has in regards to
who does, right? But we're letting him enjoy the night. So anyway, I really cannot add much else to this. Just once again, just to underscore it, Colors Within, probably in theaters in most places in Canada and the US for another week. So up until next Wednesday, or up until Thursday. So if you have a chance to see it, see it. That's about all we can really add. But
yeah, it's still in a bunch of theaters. It's always good to support movies like this in general, especially good ones like this that are highly reviewed well. I mean, it's got like a 90-something% on Rotten Tomato. People, it seems that when people watch this movie, they enjoy and like this movie.
Yeah, we'll put up the let's put up that poster one more time in French. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. Well, once again, it's still Colors Within remains in theaters for another week. Check it out while you can. As of this taping, as we were saying this on Saturday night, February 8th, 2025, the night before the Super Bowl. You got to pick in that game?
Yeah, it's going to be another good old Chiefs victory,
Less than 7 points? 7 points or less?
I don't know. I think it's going to be like 40-something, 20-something. It won't be close. It'll be a big blowout.
Well, you think it'll be a blowout this time?
I think what's more important and what everyone's going to be talking about on Monday isn't the fact that the Chiefs demolished the Eagles. It's that the Kendrick Lamar officially squashed the beef with Drake, brought him up on stage with Lil Wayne, and they had a big old surprise. Hey guys, no more beef. We're all good. And they all sing the song together. You're gonna see Drake on that stage, call himself a pedophile for some reason, singing that song along with him. It's gonna be very something,
And I was about to refer to the referees, but okay. A key referee call late in the game going the Chiefs' way. Sure, I think there's a prop on that. I wonder what the odds are. Anyway, but I guess that's it. Who would have thunk we got this under in under an hour, unless you have something else to add, Mo.
I mean, no. I think I gotta save the rest for the next time when we're all back together.
Whenever that is. Well,
sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah. Well, let's quick shout out to Kevin. He's enjoying some time. He's at a concert. I know. Let me just double check. He's at a concert tonight, and we meant one of the other things, just something to look forward to. One of the other bucket list or touch base space heaters we want to do in the near future is there is something on music and some J-pop and K-pop thoughts I want to pick Kevin's brain on. There'll be plenty to pick his brain on when we finally talk to him, or when I finally am able to talk to him. He's watching Nano and Mad Kid here in concert in Toronto. I don't know exactly where that is. Mad Kid seems to like Toronto these days because they were here for Anime North as well.
My thoughts go out to them and their entire team as we face down the barrel of a giant snowstorm.
Yeah, it is snowing outside. Just so you know, there was a winter storm warning in effect for the greater Toronto area, so that's what we're facing here.
Obviously, it's not as bad as the one that's happening in Japan currently, but nevertheless,
it's a mess, or it has the potential to be a bit to deal with, considering our infrastructure. Anyway, but that's pretty much as much as we got to say tonight, right?
No, we gotta remind everyone about the how to reach everyone, right?
Well, that's where I was about to go. So that's about it. You made it to the end of the space heater. Let us know where you think, wherever you're watching or listening to this. AnimeRoundtable.com. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. It'll greatly help us and the show as a whole. And do yourself one final favor. Give us a subscribe on YouTube, a follow on Twitch, and a bookmark wherever you get your podcasts. That way, we'll definitely see you back here next time. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening.